Hi, welcome to Appalachian Eats. I'm Jessica DeLong.
And I'm Dottie DeLong.
And today we're going to have a little bit of a discussion on this whole thing that's going on in our world right now. We'll show you some clips of our trip we took Friday out into town. And also we have a recipe here from Meemaw's grandmother,
Malky, which is Suzanne Fraser, but we called her Malky.
And it was a recipe that we actually, the first time we ever made it, we made this recipe together, we decided, this was back in 2003 or 4, we decided we were going to hop on the Atkins bandwagon and lose some weight. And we were looking for low carb recipes, and Meemaw pulled this one out. She said, hey, this will fit the bill. So we decided to make it one night, and thinking that, because the title is
Quick Pigs in a Blanket.
Let's just say we ate after dark because it was not as quick as the name would imply. So, but anyway, it's a delicious treat, a very simple casserole type dish, and we're going to use Meemaw's trusty casserole dish here. And it's something that maybe you have some things in your pantry already, since we are on this kind of a lockdown quarantine kind of thing. This is something that you would have maybe all the ingredients for. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to pop behind the camera and let Meemaw give us the list of ingredients.
All right, so the recipe calls for a small head of cabbage chopped. So I've done that. A pound of ground beef, which is, I think,
it's
underneath the cheese. Half a cup of chopped onion. I have that here. Half a cup of rice, and this is quick rice, 5-minute rice. Salt and pepper. Can of tomato soup, water for the tomato soup, half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and a small package of mozzarella cheese. And those are all the ingredients, which is...
Sounds kind of weird when you say it all separately.
And so we're going to start out by browning our meat. So we're going to start out by browning this hamburger or ground beef, and it says to mix the onions right on in there so there won't be any draining, but this is very good lean. What did you say it was, Jess?
I think this is 85-15 or 90.
Yeah.
Usually I buy like 93.7, and I have to add a little bit of olive oil to it just to keep it from sticking to my pan.
So we'll take a minute to brown this up. That was a half a cup of chopped onion.
Mm-hmm. And I will leave a recipe card link in the description box below if you want to try this. And you could use turkey, ground turkey, ground pork, just whatever meat you have on hand. You could use deer meat. I have tons of deer meat out in the freezer here. That if push comes to shove and I can't find any more ground beef in the stores, that's the majority of our like things that we typically have with beef will be venison.
And why it was listed as quick pigs in a blanket, there's no pork in this particular. And we've talked about where Malky got this recipe, which I have no idea, but we assume the way my grandmother was, she probably got it off the back of a box or a ladies' magazine.
Yeah.
She loved to cut out recipes from the ladies' magazines. I think some of the stuff you have is from...
Yeah, some of the recipes of hers I've used. She had a, like a, what do you call that? Like a steno, or is it steno or something?
Mimeograph.
Yeah. And then there's also some of the, like a legal pad that she had, that she clipped a bunch of stuff and just pasted it in there. And actually one of the recipes, I remember Granny telling me before she had passed away, she said, I would like to have one of Malky's pineapple upside down cakes.
Oh, yeah.
And so I went through all of that and I found her pineapple upside down cake and made one for Granny. But it's nice to go through that stuff and kind of think, what appealed to her, the recipes that she liked. So we went out Friday. Now we knew, we had already, here in the state of Indiana, they had already said that you could not have groups of over 250. And by that time, toilet paper was becoming the hot item. And so we decided to go to Sam's, which I typically go to Sam's anyway. I have 6 kids, so that's just something that we do. To buy toilet paper and paper towels and stuff like that. It's just so much easier. So anyway, we were going to go and pick up some stuff that I thought would be handy to have, especially if we're going to have to be quarantined or whatever. We got there, and I'll show a video of this. It was like a ghost town down that toilet paper aisle. So while we were out, Meemaw, what was the funniest thing you saw?
Well, there's a lot of funny things, because I believe in live and laugh, and I always say I'm the unpaid comedian in the family. And the first thing is when we went to Rural King.
Yeah.
And my big ticket item, she was going to get things, chicken feed and stuff that she just needed. But I said, well, if I'm going to be stuck for several weeks, I'm going to get some popcorn, because Rural King sells popcorn by the big bags for $2 where I go. And walked in, and they had 2 popcorn machines, both of them setting cold and dark. And broke my heart. She ran over and said, Meemaw, look. And I was not really, but I was ready to cry. And then on the shelf beside of it was these little bags of popcorn that are about 2/3 of the size they would ordinarily sell. And they had a sign like they were really doing you a favor. 2 for $5. And I said, I'm not buying that. I buy popcorn, bigger bags than this, at Rural King for $2 a bag. This is price gouging on my popcorn. So that was funny. We laughed all through the store at that, because I kept threatening to call the police on them. Not really. But it was just funny that they had that closed down and bagged up, and there we were. And I understand why they stopped popping it, because people get their own popcorn little bags as they go through Rural King. That's just a Rural King thing. And but that was the first thing.
Yeah.
Now, more.
Then you got some at Walmart that she had to break down and buy
microwave popcorn.
Which I don't know what me and Richard and I have been laughing about. You were being so disappointed, Rick said, over that stale popcorn.
Hey, when you first get it from Rural King, it's good. Now, after about a week of getting a bowl every night, then it gets a little chewy. But that's okay.
Well, ours doesn't last 30 minutes, so that's different.
All right, this looks like it's just about completely brown.
Okay, so I think the first, and you have a greased 9 by 13. Well, actually, this is not necessarily a 9 by 13.
No, it's slightly larger.
Quite the same. I have to get something out and measure
It's actually a lasagna pan. Is what it was intended for. But
first we layer. You put the cabbage on the bottom.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to have to look at that and make sure I'm doing it right, because I sure don't want to throw it all in there. You brown the meat and onion, and 1 large stir in the rice.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Forgot about the rice.
Yes, stir in the rice.
And this is brown, you said quick rice?
It's brown rice, but it's quick rice, yes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, this is 5-minute rice. And then, well, if you go ahead while I'm stirring this and read the next part, I pretty much know what it is, but I don't want to.
Okay, and your salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper. Okay.
Okay.
Now it recommends how much?
Now it says a half a teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper.
Okay.
And we would be filming this over in my kitchen, but Daddy and the kids are playing games, so. But what was so funny, little JoJo said, "Mommy, you're not gonna make us go downstairs." I said, "No, you're good. I'll just go to Meemaw's house."
Yeah, we run Papa into the bedroom.
Yeah, he's there watching TV.
All right.
Okay, so we're supposed to layer the cabbage and then spoon that mixture over the top.
Okay.
Okay, so this looks like we remember it. It's hot. Mm-hmm.
So you think so?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
The quick pigs in a blanket. Now, actually, we did not cook it. We did not bake it as long as she had on her.
No, this
Recipe.
is about a little over an hour.
Yeah, just a little over. Yeah, and it was
ready when we checked it. It looked ready.
Yeah. So there we go. Delicioso. Well, thank you for joining us as we cooked quick pigs in a blanket today. And I hope it's something that you try. Like I said, you could take any kind of meat and you can adapt this recipe to your dietary needs. But in a pinch, and if you have a couple of hours, you could have quick pigs in a blanket too. And also during this this time that we're going through right now as a nation and as the world, if you have any prayer concerns, you can put those down in the description box, and we would love to pray for those around our table. So until next time.
If you liked our videos, subscribe to them, hit that little like button, and share them. We would like to get our recipes out to a few more people. And if you hit that little bell, then you'll be notified every time we put out a new one.
All right. We'll see you again next time on Appalachian Eats. Hi, welcome to Appalachian Eats. I'm Jessica DeLong.
And I'm Dottie DeLong.
And today we're going
Hold
to...
it. About sneeze.
You got the coronavirus. Take care of your elderly.
All of a sudden my nose just started tingling right up through there like, you're